you're listening here on the airwaves, it's that WBOK 1230 AM.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump says it's time for Republicans to terminate the filibuster amid the ongoing government shutdown.
This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill. And we should do our own bills.
The president made the comments while hosting Republican senators for breakfast at the White House. Trump warned that no legislation will be passed for over 3 years if lawmakers don't end the filibuster. It comes as the shutdown is now the longest in U.S. history. And Winsome Earl Sears, Virginia's black Republican nominee for governor, didn't receive a full endorsement from President Trump despite her loyalty to his agenda. When pressed by CBS News, she struggled to explain the omission. Though Trump voiced support, he backed another candidate more strongly. Earl Sears, Virginia's lieutenant governor, highlights her immigrant roots and conservative record. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily express the views or opinions of Equity Media, its management, staff, or affiliates of WBOK.
Greetings and salutations and happy hump day. We welcome you once again to Black to Business, hosted by the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And yours truly is on the mic as your host, Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board for the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And today, I have an unprecedented guest who really probably needs no introduction for all the things that she has done, all the things that she is doing, and all the things that she will be doing in the near future. I have with me Miss Melissa Carter, the director of the Regional Integrated Marketing for the American Cancer Society, in particular, Voices of Black Women. And she's also the author of Are There Cookies in Heaven? Miss Carter, how are you? And can you please tell the listening audience on this day, who is Melissa Carter?
Well, thank you for having me. Hello, happy hump day. Glad to be here. Appreciate that introduction very much. Gosh, who am I? I would say first and foremost, I'm a mom. I have an 8-year-old son who will be 9 in December. I am a daughter, a sister, a friend, a business professional for over 20 years now. And I'm just, glad to be here.
All right. So, Ms. Carter, how do you get started with the American Cancer Society?
I actually have been with ACS for 2 years now. So I started with them in September, what's that, 2023? So 2 years ago, I joined ACS after leaving the Baton Rouge Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. I spent a little time in Baton Rouge.
Did you now?
Yeah, that was my other home.
I have as
For about
well.
30 years. I went to D. Southern University and A&M College in August of 1990, and I left from Baton Rouge to come back here in July of 2022.
Okay.
So we probably have crossed paths somewhere down the road.
We probably have.
So, Ms. Carter, how do you become the director of Regional Integrated Marketing, and what is that?
Yeah, so I was actually hired into the position of Director of Regional Integrated Marketing. And what that is for me, or for us at the American Cancer Society, in my position specifically, I actually support 5 states. So including Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. And my role really is about amplifying the mission and the vision of the American Cancer Society, sharing the stories of cancer survivors and caretakers, bringing awareness to Cancer Awareness Month. So, for example, November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Right. Many people know that last month, October, was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So a lot of the work that I do is talking with survivors, talking with medical professionals, bringing attention where I can to hopefully encourage people to be screened and be screened early, because screening saves lives.
Right.
And
Early detection.
that's right. That's right. And part of our mission at ACS is to make sure that everyone has a chance to detect, prevent, treat, and survive cancer.
Okay.
hmm
So, what is Voices of Black Women, and how do you get involved?
Yeah. So the Voices of Black Women study was actually launched last year. I believe it was in May that the American Cancer Society launched Voices of Black Women, which is an observational cohort, observational population study that is, that has the goal of recruiting 100,000 Black women to join to learn more about, specifically why Black women are dying at higher rates than our counterparts of cancer.
Okay.
And it's a really important study, fully observational, and so I like to say that because, as we know, there's been a lot of medical harm
Right.
done to people of color in the past, and ACS has acknowledged that and is being very transparent about it. But even more so, Voices of Black Women is our opportunity as Black women, Black people, to learn more about, why are we developing cancer, and then how can we change those outcomes, and create interventions so that generations from now, we have less Black women dying from this disease.
Got it. So, out of the 100,000 that you were seeking, how many of those have y'all actually gotten to participate?
I don't have a specific number, but it is, I will be completely honest, it is not as high as we need it to be.
Okay.
We haven't even reached the 10,000 mark,
Wow.
to be fully transparent and honest. And, I think that there are a lot of reasons for that. A lot of challenges. We are not able to incentivize people to join the study,
Right.
because it's a scientific study. It really needs to be one that you join by your own free will.
Got it.
And, honestly, it's spreading the word and sharing about it and telling people about it. And so that's kind of why I'm here and what I'm doing, as part of the work that I do every day to really spread that word, get the message out, encourage others to participate.
Okay. So, listening audience, or if you're out there listening and you're interested in this conversation, you want to be a part of the conversation, you have something to add to the conversation, or you just want to know how can you get involved, please phone in or dial in at 504-582-9422. Now, the call line should be ringing off the hook right now. It should be lightening up, because I know someone out there has been impacted in some kind of way, shape, or form with cancer, in particular cancer in women. So we have right now one of the spokespersons for the American Cancer Society, but not only that, the spokesperson for us here in New Orleans, here in Louisiana, for Voices of Black Women. And I know all of us who are people of color come from a Black woman. So we all want that Black woman to be honored. We all want that Black woman to stay here and be here so we can love on and be loved by them forever. So once again, dial in, phone in, call in, send a pigeon with a note or a raven or something, 504-582-9422.
What I should add, just more about who can participate, right?
Okay.
So just to be kind of super clear about that is that we are seeking women who are between the ages of 25 and 55 to participate, who identify themselves as a Black woman, and who don't have a history of cancer. And, I think that sometimes, the question is why? Why don't we want women who have cancer to participate? This study in particular is really trying to understand why cancer is developing in Black women and what that looks like from a long-term standpoint, right? So the study itself is longitudinal in nature, so it will run, upwards of 30 years.
Wow.
This will be an ongoing conversation with Black women for probably as long as 30 years to just understand, where you started and where you are at any given point, right?
Okay.
So I'm a participant, self-disclosed participant. All
Right.
of that is very confidential. I should say that as well. But I obviously self-disclosed that I'm a participant of the study. And really what that looks like is answering questions. It's all done online. As I mentioned before, it's observational. So not clinical at all in nature. There's no blood work. There are no doctors involved, medical doctors
Right.
involved, no visits to offices, no treatments being given, nothing like that. It really is an ongoing conversation,
Okay.
to understand the different factors in a woman's life, a Black woman's life, that we can distill information from to change outcomes for the future.
Got it. So, have you partnered up with any of the other medical institutions in the city, your LCMC, your OSNAs, your Inclusive Care, any of those organizations?
ACS partners with all of the health institutions for the most
Okay.
part here in the city. We also have, various other partnerships and relationships. We were at Sister Strut, for example, earlier this year, and we're able to share with the women out there about voices. We have, relationships with sororities and fraternities and, you name it. We are just trying to get the word out and partner with whoever is interested and willing to,
Got it.
to spread this information.
So, how can a person become a participant or be involved with the program?
Yeah, so anyone can visit voices.cancer.org. And basically from there, to be a participant, what you will do is take an eligibility survey, which they say takes 5 minutes. I say it takes probably less than 60 seconds, quite frankly, because it's just answering a few questions, asking about how you self-identify. So do you identify yourself as a Black woman? Are you between the ages of 25 and 55? Do you have a history of cancer, with the exception of squamous and basal skin cancers? Those people are able to participate, and from there, you're entered. You're able to participate. It will take you into a next form that basically discloses all the legal things, right?
Got
It informs people. It's informed consent, so that you know exactly what you're signing up for. And then again, after that step, you can start what is probably between a 60 to 90-minute survey, all done online, that will kind of take a few different steps, asking you questions about your lived experiences. So how did you grow up? Do you live in an urban area? Do
Right.
you live in a rural area? Do you have health insurance? Are you a smoker? Do you have a family history of cancer? Quite a few different questions. Do you experience mental health challenges? Have
Okay.
you experienced racism?
Wow.
Yeah, it's really intended to be a conversation to understand the whole person.
Right.
And from there, you take the survey. You either finish it in one sitting or not, and I think that's important to share as well, because I know we're all busy. I'm a mom, 8-year-old. I don't have a lot of time to sit
Right.
down for 90 minutes. But it is a self-paced survey, so you can start it and come back. If you only have 15 minutes, we still encourage you to start the survey and finish it when you have the time to finish. And because we really just need to get people in the mix, engaged. And then from there, like I said, it's an ongoing conversation. Every year, every subsequent year, ACS will reach out, share updates about voices of Black women and what's going on, and what advances we've made, what information we're learning. We'll ask a few more questions, so there'll be shorter surveys that we'll ask you to take, for the subsequent years. Because really, it is about understanding, how things are changing in your life. So I haven't been diagnosed with cancer yet, knock on wood, and I pray I never am. But in 5 to 10 years, I may be, right? So this kind of study is really helping to understand where we start and how that changes over time.
Okay. So, how can somebody that wants to get involved get in contact with you or get in contact with the program?
Yeah, so anyone can feel free to reach out to me at my email. I'm Melissa, melissa.carter, CARTER, @cancer.org. We are, in addition to our participants, we are always looking for ambassadors.
Okay.
So women and men of all races, who feel like who have an influence in the community, who are able to share with groups of people about the study. We are always encouraging and looking for ambassadors to participate, to learn more about the study, so that they can then spread the word. Because we're not gonna see the numbers in the study until we get more people to be aware of it and really dedicate the time to participate.
Okay. So, what we want to do with the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, we want to get involved. We've started this partnership. We want to continue to have it and keep it ongoing. So we want to possibly do some workshops, some things like that, so you can be in front of the audience of our members. So then the members can know exactly what is Black woman voices and how they can have their voice
Yeah.
be heard as well. So we're gonna get to the fun part now. So when did you become an author,
Ah,
and why did you write "Are There Cookies in Heaven"?
so it's actually Are There Snacks in Heaven?
Oh, okay.
But that's
Snacks.
okay. Are There Snacks in Heaven? I actually I published Are There Snacks in Heaven last year, about a year ago. Next week, I think it'll be. It's a children's book that I felt called to write. My husband died in 2019 when my son was 2 years old,
Mm.
and anyone who has children or has had, I've been around a 2-year-old. There are lots of questions, and I have a very verbal child, so he asked lots of questions. He had lots of, just curious. And for me, I've never been one to feel like I should stray away from those conversations or to make up, stories of fantasy or anything of that nature. So I've always tried to engage my son in dialogue about grief and loss, and just help him make sense of in the best way that he possibly could at 2 years old, at 3 years old, 4 years old. And the title comes from a question that he actually asked. Like we were driving home one day from daycare, and he's like, "Hey, Mom, are there snacks? Do you think Daddy has snacks in heaven?"
Wow.
Because kids, snacks are life, right?
Right,
So they
right.
love snacks. They want snacks all the time. And I think he was just curious, and that was something that he thought about. We lost my grandmother the year later, so there's, he's just experienced a lot of grief at a young age, and so we would have conversations about it. And I even said to him, I don't know if there are snacks in heaven.
Right.
I'm not. Mommy hasn't been there. I'm not sure what that experience is like, but I imagine it to be filled with all the things that Daddy loved to do, that
Right.
Daddy liked, and y'all played football. He liked football. He liked to barbecue. Those things, I imagine, are the experiences that he is having in heaven. So,
Okay.
yeah. So it was a little passion project, for lack of a better word,
Right.
and something I felt called to do
Yeah, okay.
because
Cool.
other kids are probably experiencing the same thing.
Right, right. So, with that being said, where can someone get that book?
It is on Amazon. It is
All
on
right.
Amazon. It's on barnesandnoble.com. And I should mention that I had the help of Jasmine Birds with Birds of a Feather Publishing, Black women-owned business here in the city of New Orleans. They were great to work with. It should be available still on her website as well, Birds of a Feather.
All right. So please go out and purchase the book, especially now. Holidays are coming up, and everyone experiences loss of a loved one. So if you got a young child in your family or in your household, this may be something that you want to turn to, or get in and get involved with, or get them. Go get the book.
Yeah, and I mean, really, it is. It's lighthearted, right? Because it's meant for young children
Right.
between the ages of probably 2 and 7, I would say. And I think sometimes it's nice to see yourself reflected back at you, right? So a brown-skinned child, who is, has experienced loss and what that looks like for them, and not, it's traumatic, but not necessarily, in some other ways. And
Right.
yeah,
So the illustrations are of us.
they are.
Okay, cool.
Yes, they are.
So like I said, once again, go get the book. Go to Amazon or go to Birds of a Feather.
Mm-hmm.
And please, in the words of James Brown, please get the book. So, Miss Carter, how is Miss Carter, an American Cancer Society, involved in the local community?
Yeah, well, I think, a lot of people are aware of the American Cancer Society. It's, I think 112-year-old organization. So it's been around a very long time. So people are aware, but they don't necessarily always connect the dots of where
Right.
they're seeing us or what we do. We are engaged a lot in fundraising here locally, I would say, because at the heart of what we do, we raise funds to advance cancer research, to advance cancer advocacy. So, a lot of people don't realize that we have the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, which is our advocacy arm of the American Cancer Society that works in communities all across the country, advocating for health equity and, really on behalf of the people at the state capitals. Additionally, we have patient support services as well, that a lot of people aren't necessarily aware of. And so, you know, I encourage anyone to visit cancer.org or to reach out to us here locally. There are plenty of events that we host as part of that fundraising effort. So, for example, there will be a golf tournament coming up, I think next Friday it is, that we have at TPC.
Okay.
And, you know, in addition to that, we just hosted the Cure by Design Gala that was at Mardi Gras World at the end of September. And, you know, that event in particular raised, I think, nearly $1 million.
Y'all host nice events.
We try, right?
Good.
Because, you know, we're working to, you know, we have a big mission. We have a big mission. Cancer, unfortunately, is not going away as quickly as we would like.
Right.
And so, you know, those dollars are really important to advance the work and, you know, the work of research, the work of advocacy, but even more so the patient support side of it, which, you know, like I said, I don't think a lot of people recognize or realize all of the ways that ACS touches people with cancer. So, you know, one thing I'll mention since I'm on my soapbox, is that we have our office is located on River Road, so very close to Ochsner,
Right.
and located on River Road. And in addition to our, you know, office here, we are next door to the American Cancer Society Patrick F. Taylor Hope Lodge.
Okay.
And so for anyone who doesn't know what the Hope Lodge is, which unfortunately is a lot of people, it is a free home away from home
Okay.
for people with cancer when they are seeking treatment. So it really, you know, removes a burden for a lot of cancer patients and provides access to care that, you know, sometimes it stops people from receiving the treatment that they need.
Right.
You know, so if you are traveling or you know someone who needs to travel 40 miles, who live 40 miles away from the New Orleans area, they can work with the person at their hospital to, you know, they need a place to stay. They can get themselves, you know, lodging at the Hope Lodge right here on River Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and that was going to be one of my questions. What events do y'all have upcoming? And I did see on TV the American
Yes.
Cancer Society Golf Tournament. So it's going to be at TPC. And do you know what day? Do you know the rates? Anything like that?
It is next Friday, which I
Next
think is the 11th. If I think, but it is next Friday. I know that for a fact. I'm pretty certain it is November 11th.
Okay.
Is next? Am I right? I think that's next Friday.
Next Friday is actually the 14th.
Okay, I'm very wrong. I apologize. So November 14th at TPC. I don't have the foursome cost off the top of my head, but I do believe that there are still a few foursomes available.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, you can visit, you know, again, cancer.org and search for events in Louisiana to get there quickly. But yeah, and so we have that. We just came off of Men Wear Pink, which I don't know if you guys, if you're aware of that. Men Wear Pink is essentially a campaign that was started some years ago to engage men
Right.
in the fight against breast cancer.
Okay. Saw that on TV as well. So
Yes.
the golf tournament was a perfect segue into the community calendar because on Friday, November 21st, 2025, the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce will be hosting its the 12th annual Crescent City Classic Golf Tournament at Joseph Bartholomew Municipal Golf Course. And it is a four-man scramble. It's $500 for a four-man team. Individual is $150. You can get a whole sign to promote your business for $100. You can get a one-day pass where you can come hang out at the golf course, eat and drink and be merry with the golfers and everybody else out there for $50. And for $125, we got Ladies with Drive, where we will have a golf coach, a golf pro who will teach ladies how to play golf. So if you're interested in being in that tournament or being at that tournament, you can contact yours truly, Edward B. Coulon Smith, at norbcc.chairman2025@gmail.com, or you go on Eventbrite and you will see the information on there as well. So we're calling all golfers, male, female, indifferent. Hey, please come on out to the golf course, off to the golf tournament, and be a part of the golf tournament. We will have First Friday this Friday. Look like that will be at Justine's. So please come out. Happy hour will be from 5 to 7. And once again, if you have any questions, any concerns, you can reach me at norbcc.chairman2025@gmail.com or 504-343-1138. All right, as we're getting close to our time, please call in, phone in, 504-582-9422. And we thank you, Ms. Carter, for being a part of the Phenomenal Woman Empowerment Conference that we had here at Xavier University on October the 24th. And we thank you for all that you did while you were here. And how does it feel to be a phenomenal woman?
Thank you for having me. You know, I just want to do my part. I just want to do my part. I think at the end of the day, you know, however we can contribute back into our community and do good for other people is, you know, there's nothing better than that. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm encouraging others to participate and to get engaged. And, you know, thank you guys for having me. And I hope that people will find the meaning in a study like Voices of Black Women, because there really is a lot of meaning to it. And it won't impact us tomorrow, but it will impact our daughters, our granddaughters, our nieces. And so, yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay. So once again, how can the listening audience get in contact with you or get involved with the American Cancer Society and Voices of Black Women movement?
Please visit voices.cancer.org. From there, you can learn so much more about the study, the people involved in the study. You can sign up for the study. You can become an ambassador for the study. And my door's always open. Reach out to us here locally in New Orleans. We are working hard to end cancer as we know it for everyone.
All right. It's been fun to have you as always, and we thank you for coming to our Phenomenal Woman Empowerment Conference. We look forward to, and we are inviting you to the golf tournament. Now, I saw the Lions doing something. I don't know what's going on, if we have callers or what we have, but we're coming to the end of the show. But we'll be right back at you next week at 12 noon on WBOK, 12:30 a.m., Black to Business. Thank y'all, and we'll see you next week.